our services in a much more systemic, strategic way, working better with the community, and what role could the City of Ottawa play in doing that? From our perspective, we have two roles. I think we have a leadership role at the system level, but we're a service provider first and foremost at the community level.
We at Ottawa Community Housing, of course, want to be part of that. We see it as a key tool in terms of integrating our communities within the broader community. But I think that it's important to be respectful of the roles that different people play and really to keep the work focused. And in light of that, we can't do it all overnight. So I think agreeing on priorities and really focusing on those communities is going to be the key to our collective success.
Community engagement process takes time. In terms of challenges, the community mobilization is both the key to success and a main challenge as well. Each neighborhood is different. There is a need to identify the right tools and the right strategies to reach the key milestones.
I think the NCLB process is helpful to the communities in a number of different ways. It helps the community members to get to know the support systems and resources that are available to them. It helps the frontline staff working in the community to get to know what the specific needs are at that given period. And I think it also helps to make intervention with partners and funders that much more useful because it is specific to the identified needs within the communities.
Neighborhoods are dynamic and different, and it is exactly this premise upon which the NCLB's place-based approach is structured.
The amazing thing that's happened and why I know it's successful is everyone now is talking about place-based approaches to service, and that is a huge shift.
There are a number of lessons that can be drawn from the NCLB experience.
One of the lessons learned is really the benefit of supporting communities through the process of doing community assessments, planning, implementing strategies and evaluation to support communities through that process so that they can identify the milestones and make adjustments and continue to be flexible to get to where they want to end up.
I think tenant association is the key. Every year we participate in annual community surveys and planning meetings. We identify our needs and think of possible solutions. We set targets for ourselves and review our progress. We never fail in achieving what we set to achieve.
This approach speaks to consistency, that people come around, support the neighborhood, really understand the neighborhood, and decide to stay together, to collaborate, and to work over the long term.
What was really beneficial to us is that when NCLB approached us, there had been a lot of work done in building the community and getting them ready for change and recognizing that they wanted to see a change in their community. So we didn't traditionally, it's the police coming in to affect change. This was the community wanting the police to come in to affect change for the better.
Lessons learned, one is, commit and stick with it with the long term, and that includes all partners. The second lesson is, I would think, is that the community itself has to do it, right? This is, no communities left behind is not a bunch of people coming in from the outside. No communities left behind is about the community. And so it's about community ownership and community involvement. And so if you go in there and start doing stuff for people, it's not as good as going in and facilitating people to get the job done.
You need to have officers that are dedicated, committed, and that have presence. So in building that relationship of trust, the community needs to know the officers and the officers need to know the community.
This is a success story in the making. No community should be left behind. However, for the communities to become masters of their destinies, a great deal is expected of them in terms of shared responsibility.
We just saw in the United States the election of a president whose message is all about shared responsibility. That it's not just governments, it's not funders, it's not others that have the solution, but the solution comes from us. And that we know what it is, and we have the responsibility and the ability to act on that. I remember one of his lines so vividly where he said, "I can be the president that invests in early childhood education, but I can't be the president that turns off the television and ensures my child does his homework." And that's stuck with me, and I think it's so relevant when we're looking at place-based work, when we're looking at initiatives like No Communities Left Behind, because it really is up to residents to want to make a difference.
We will be able to take pride in our community. We need to take pride in our community.
Yeah. They may not know exactly how, they may not have the resources. That's where we as funders can come in to provide some assistance, but they have the desire and the willingness to try and work differently to make some kind of change, to make an identifiable difference in their community.
And for turning this dream of shared responsibility into reality, the City of Ottawa and partner agencies have a plan.
Well, the communities are the key, and the City of Ottawa is very clear from our role that we are not owning this process at the community level. The community and the people that live in that community and the agencies in the community, they own the process, they own the solutions, they own the identification of the priorities. We're here to really help and support that. We're not going into a community and saying, oh, here we are, the big City of Ottawa, and we own this and we're going to tell you what to do. Our responsibility is, once the community and those people that live there have identified what their priorities are, for us to go back to our organization and say, how can we make our services better to respond to that community? Not to tell them what we're going to do. They telling us what they need, and that's a significant difference from what I believe we were doing before and what we're doing now. And I think that's the system change that is the start of an incredible evolution in how the city is going to provide services.
Working together is not easy, but its fruits are so satisfying to the spirit that once you enjoy them, you just don't give up.